Hi, everyone. You know, one kind of math that we struggle with is a kind of math that should be pretty simple, and it really is, but we still have a hard time with it, and that is the negative and positive integers that we deal with. You say, what are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about. Negative and positive. If I were to tell you negative 7 plus 2 equals negative 5, you'd say, what? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5. The negative and positive of integers. You're adding, subtracting the negative and positives, or multiplying and dividing them. Well, here's what's going on here. We'll go back to the very basic thing called the number line. You've heard of the number line before, right? Number line is like this. You have a line that goes like this, right? And then you have a 0 right here, 0. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you have the negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. Okay? So when you're doing that, if you go, say, start with this. Say you get a 3 right here. Let's say you start with a 3. Okay? And you say 3 plus negative 6. You say you're starting on this number line right here, 3 plus negative 6. You literally are going like this to get this. Negative 3 equals negative 3. So you're using the number line to help you understand what your solution is. Or you're using a number line to help you understand what's going on with the negative and positive numbers, okay? If I were to say, oh, negative 2 plus 8, which equals negative 6, right? I'm starting with negative 2 right here. I'm then going straight this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right there. I end up with 6 as my answer. All right? So the number line, I guess you could say, is our guide. Anytime you're dealing with negative and positive, you're having to deal with which side of the 0 is the answer. Well, let's look at a few other numbers. We won't be able to refer every time. I'm not going to refer every time to the number line simply because for time's sake. So let me give you a few other numbers real quick. Let's go ahead and try 7 minus a negative 3. Gets a little cute here, doesn't it? Watch. 7 minus negative 3. Well, the negatives cancel each other out. Yeah. Ain't that nice? 7 negative minus 3 minus negative 3. That means 7 plus 3 is 10. See how I did that? Or let's say I say 8 minus 3. That's a simple one. 8 minus 3 is 5. Okay? See what I'm saying? Or let's say I say to you 9 minus a negative 2. What do you get? 9 minus negative 2, you get that crossed out, equals 11. See, the negatives and the positives work out together that way, and that's how, when you're trying to add or subtract, or you're trying to involve negative and positive integers, this is how you make the solutions happen. Okay? All right, let's try a few others here. And it's not really that difficult, but it does get a little confusing. Let's even try, multiplying, okay? That's even more fun. 2 times negative 3 is going to give you what? Negative 6. 2 times 3, 6. Get the negative there. How about this? Negative 2 times negative 3. That equals what? Negative times negative gives you a positive 6. Okay? Now, whenever you're doing that, or if I'm dividing, 8 divided by -2. One negative is a negative. It's going to be a negative right here, -4. If it's two negatives, -10 divided by -5, that will equal negative and negative will equal a positive, which will be 2. If I have a negative and a negative, negative times a negative, it's a positive. If it's a negative times a positive, it's a negative. Okay? You got to get into the rhythm. You got to kind of practice this. You got to kind of remember it. It's a routine you get into. Now, if you're having this, let's say you have this problem, and that's what gets people, this is what gets people really confused. If I told you 22 divided by, let's say 11, just make it simpler. 22 divided by 11, right? What do you have? 2. Or, put it this way, 22 divided by, with that house, remember the house, divided by 11 gives you 2 times 11, 22, right? 22 minus 22 is 0. There you go. Your answer is 2. Straightforward. But what if I told you that was 22 divided by -11? What happened? Well, 22 divided by -11, if you got one negative in this here, this becomes a negative. Okay? That's how you look at it. If it's two negatives, this becomes a positive. So if you're dividing two negatives, that becomes a positive. If you're dividing one negative, this becomes a negative. Okay? So if I have 20 divided by -4, you got one negative, right? So you automatically know that this is going to be a -5. -5 times -4 is going to give you a 20. 20 minus 20 is 0. Why? Because you get one negative. If it was two negatives, it was a negative there, then this would be a positive. That'd be a 5 times -4 is -20. All right? So when you're using negatives and positives, just watch closely how many negatives you have or how many positives you have. That will make the difference in terms of what your solution is going to be. Whenever you're dealing with adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, negatives and positives, it all about goes down to that number line right here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, because you're then going like this. If you're going -3, you start with -3 and you're adding 7, you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're putting 7 on, you got 4. -3 plus 7 equals 4. The number line can give you a great deal of guidance when doing these. Are we there? Am I seeing smiles in the room? Oh, I get you. You heard it's lunchtime. All right, I get it. That hurts my feelings, but that's okay. I hope you get it now. If you don't, you know I hear your teacher's even smarter than me. You have a good one. Later.